Oh, welcome to the Writer Reads Flash Fiction from another 365 days of flash fiction, month 4, day 12, a dinner date interrupted. Cherry blossoms flew like pink flakes of snow torn from branches and sent in flurries over the house. I watched them fly, shivering at the sudden chill on the wind's breath. This stank of magic, and not the elvish kind. I wondered if troll kings knew how to weave spells and decided it couldn't be. A winter wind? A winter spell? The idea had merit. I hoped it didn't signal trouble. I had a dinner date, and the roast was in the oven. Just as I slid the potatoes in with it, a pixie slammed into the window and slid down the glass, leaving a trail of snot and dust. Nice. Now I was going to have to go out in it, because I couldn't leave the little devil to suffer in the chill. What on earth was it doing out there anyway? It would have had to be desperate to fly in this. Desperate. My heart sank. Well, of course it had been. Settling the elven blade on my hip and pulling my greatcoat around me, I slid open the side door and stepped into the evening. Dark forms were already emerging from the bridge. Trolls weren't put off by the magical breeze. The pixie wasn't hard to find, and I scooped up its unconscious form, wondering how hard it had to have hit to be knocked out so effectively. Normally they were tougher. Swift footsteps and a sudden blow between my shoulder blades sent me to the ground, and I only just managed to bring my forearms down to shelter the pixie in my hands. The blade of the shovel settled against the base of my skull. Don't move, one voice ordered. Hands where we can see them, ordered another. So which is it? I asked, keeping my head bowed. Don't move, or move so I can show you my hands. Neither, a third voice told me, and the shovel blade vanished as Mr. Three curled his fingers through my hair and hauled me to my feet. I flipped the front of my coat open just wide enough to slip the pixie inside the top pocket of my shirt, and then raised my hands. My back hurt, and going for the sword would have been a bad idea. Magic arced around the man who came around to face me. Your fiancé said no, he told me, and I rolled my eyes. He says that a lot, I snapped back. What am I supposed to do about it? The man gave me an oily smile. Nothing, he said, except come with me. I gestured to the house, the still open back door, my unseen roast dinner still cooking. I didn't have time for unscheduled kidnappings. Can't. He shrugged. Not your call. And he snapped his fingers. The trip over my fence to the car that pulled in from the main road was a short one, and I balked as the magician opened the door. This is not a good idea, I told him, just as the silvery notes of a familiar horn floated through the air. I dropped to my knees, making myself a dead weight as the thunder of hooves rolled out from under the bridge. The wind picked up, and the magician turned, his mouth open to speak. The hand in my hair pulled me back to my feet. Or it tried. When I stayed a dead weight, it dropped me, but not before the driver in the car saw what was coming in his rearview mirror and gunned the engine. Elven justice is not a pretty thing. Effective, but not pretty. The mage fell, arrows through the mouth, throat, and chest faster than an eye could blink. The thug holding me fell too, and in similar fashion. The thug who tried to run was run down, and the car noted for hunting later. The driver's fate was delayed, but not avoided. I stayed where I was until a leather-gloved hand was offered, and then laid my palm in the Earl of Winter's and let him lift me to my feet. I'm sorry I'm late, he murmured, looking around at the mess of cherry blossoms. I'm going to kill that pixie. He was supposed to. His voice petered out as I opened my coat and gently lifted the little creature from my pocket. He tried, I said, and he took it gently, handing it to one of his riders. I hear Elvish for healer, and know the pixie is in good hands, unlike my roast. I jerk my hand free and run for the house.